What if I told you that most of the people you're worried about judging you aren't even thinking about you at all? Lao Tzu once said, "Care about what other people think and you will always be their prisoner." And in our modern world of social media, constant comparison, and endless pressure to impress, this wisdom is more relevant than ever. Today we're going to unpack this quote, explore why caring too much about others' opinions keeps you trapped, and more importantly, how to break free. Think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself from speaking up in class, posting that idea online, or pursuing a dream, just because you were afraid of what someone else might think? We've all been there. It's human nature to want approval. But when approval becomes a prison, we lose our freedom, our authenticity, and even our happiness. And here's the twist. While you're re-stressing over what people might think of you, they're usually too busy worrying about themselves to even notice. Let's start with the world we live in today. Social media has turned human validation into a currency. Every like, every comment, every follower feels like a little approval stamp. But here's the problem. If your sense of worth depends on external approval, you're stuck in a cycle that never ends. Post something and people love it? Great. But now you feel pressure to keep it up. Post something and it gets ignored or criticized? Suddenly, your mood drops. You're chained to other people's opinions, riding a roller coaster you can't control. This is exactly what Lao Tzu warned us about. Caring too much about how others perceive us is like handing over the keys to our own happiness. Now here is something freeing. Most people aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are. You know that embarrassing thing you said 5 years ago that still haunts you? Nobody remembers it. The awkward moment you had at work last week? Everyone else was too busy replaying their own awkward moments to care about yours. The truth is, people are often too full of themselves, too wrapped up in their own insecurities, ambitions, and struggles to spend their time judging you. And if they do, it usually says more about their state of mind than about you. When you realize this, it becomes a lot easier to let go of the fear of judgment. The prison door was never locked. It was just your mind holding you inside. But let's be real. Living for approval doesn't just waste energy, it costs us our dreams. Think about how many people never start the business they've been dreaming about, never share their art, never take that leap because they're scared of what people might say. We end up living smaller lives, not because we lack ability, but because we hand over our freedom to the opinions of others. It's like driving a car while letting the passenger steer. You're still moving, but you're not in control. So how do we break free from this? It starts with a perspective shift. Instead of asking, "What will people think of me?" ask, "What will I think of myself if I don't try?" That's a powerful reframe. At the end of the day, you live with your own choices, not with other people's opinions. Approval fades quickly, but regret lasts much longer. Another mindset shift. Focus on growth, not perfection. When you see life as a journey of learning, criticism doesn't sting as much. Instead of thinking, "They'll judge me if I fail," you start thinking, "Even if I fail, I'll learn something valuable." That's freedom. Let me share a few practical ways you can start caring less about what others think. Limit the approval loop. Take breaks from social media. The less you rely on external validation, the easier it is to focus inward. Test your fears. Next time you're scared of being judged, try it anyway. You'll usually discover that no one cares, or if they do, it passes quickly. Surround yourself with builders, not critics. Spend more time with people who encourage your growth instead of people who feed your insecurities. Remember your mortality. This might sound heavy, but think about it at the end of your life. Will you care about who rolled their eyes at you? Or will you regret not living authentically? Let me give you a quick example. I remember a time when I hesitated to share an idea because I was afraid of being laughed at. Weeks later, someone else shared the same idea and it was celebrated. That moment hit me. My fear of judgment had robbed me of an opportunity. And I realized, if I keep letting fear run my life, I'll never truly live. Maybe you've had a similar experience, missing out because of what might be said. Lao Tzu's words aren't just philosophy. They're a call to action. Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. But the opposite is also true. Stop caring so much, and you set yourself free. Remember, People are too wrapped up in their own lives to think about you as much as you fear. And even if they do, their opinions can't define your worth unless you let them. So the next time you feel yourself holding back, ask, do I want to be their prisoner, or do I want to live free? The choice has always been yours. If this message resonated with you, take a second to reflect. Where in your life are you letting others' opinions hold you back? And what's one step you can take today to break free? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you found value here, hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more insights on living with courage and authenticity. Because at the end of the day, freedom starts in the mind, and it starts with you.